before we even talk about the upgrades, the microphone, the laptop, the Groot over there, the upgrades I'm making to my little humble YouTube studio, I want to give you a scenario to explain how I found Mount to Coasters R1. Imagine you're enjoying a nice plate of food, right? A fly lands on it. Now, instead of just swatting it away, you decide to go all the way to Asgard to go get Thor's hammer to come and get this fly away. You know what we call that? Overkill. Don't worry, it's a good thing. I'm about to explain a good thing. That's what this shoe is. It's Thor's hammer because to me, it's slightly wasted and overkill for me. Let me explain why. This thing is designed for 100K plus multi-day race events on the road, so road ultra marathons. This guy is training for his first actual marathon. You can see where I'm going with this. There's certain functionality in the shoe that is just simply overkill for me, and therefore I downgraded it to simply being a daily trainer. Now, how do I know it's a good shoe? It's simple. For my marathon training plan, if I was stuck with this thing for my daily training, my easy miles, long miles, steady runs, I wouldn't be complaining one bit. With that said, let's start with the review. Hold on, let's get to the controversial bit. Disclosures. The honesty is getting serious on YouTube, so I have to tell you everything about this. The guys reached out to me saying, Aubrey, would you be interested in reviewing the shoe? I was like, yeah. It didn't make sense to me at first because they're not actually shipping anywhere else outside of the States. I live in England, and I said, yeah, send me a pair of shoes, I'll review them. But the people that watch my reviews, if you're based in the UK, you can't get this just yet. They're looking at ways of distributing to the UK, and I sincerely hope that they get to that because I would love my community, the viewers of this channel, to try this shoe out because it simply works. The reason I want to say that, no one's paying me to say what I'm saying. No one's giving me any requirement, a script of how I need to review this shoe. It's strictly my opinion. And that's why I kind of went to town in making sure, you know what? I'm going to review this shoe. I'll give it 47K and give you guys my opinion. A separate video has been done for the specs. I just want to have a chat with you. Let's get to it. Right, now normally at this point, YouTubers will give you the specs, the stats and all of that. I've already done that video. So going forward, my shoe reviews will have two parts. The first video, which I call Video 0, really should be Video 1. Anyway, it's Video 0. I've already done already, where I introduced you to this guy. His name is Shoppadink Dinky Donk. This guy will give you an overview of the pair of shoes, specs, price, all the kind of stuff you need to know. So I'll pop up a card over here. You can click on that to go watch Shoppadink Dinky Donk, or I will link it in the description, and at the end I will tell you to click here and it's going to appear. If you click that, you get to see the overview of this shoe. The purpose of this video though is to just give you a very honest experience of what it was like running in this shoe. So what kind of running have I done in it? 47K in the first 2 weeks of my marathon training plan has been done in this shoe across 6 runs. I had 2 long runs. I had a progressive hill rep session, which kind of whooped my butt. It was tough. It held its own. I then had a 2K tempo session, running 2Ks at about 535 per K pace. And then I did 2 easy runs in this shoe. Now, why am I saying about the daily trainer bit? It's not carbon plated. So it's not one I'm taking on race day as I know it, because for me, race day, I like to have something actually as cushioned as this is, but with the carbon plate. And so it's not a race day shoe for me, but with my kind of running, the kind of pace that I do, it absolutely does what it needs to. Now, what do I mean by overkill? It's got a dual lacing system. You see this bottom part here? This is one of those systems where you can actually loosen or tighten independent of the other lacing system. And that's simply because on those long runs, your foot swells. I like this because you can now just adjust the front part of the shoe to give your foot space to breathe, to swell, to expand without having to interfere with the lockdown. That is actually very smart, and I'm surprised that people haven't been innovative enough to put that in a normal daily trainer / running shoe. I have to give it up to Mount to Coast for having that sort of innovation. Well done for that. The second thing that I like, the midsole. Now this midsole is a PEBA blend. It's a supercritical foam. And I have to tell you what they've done in this, what they're calling light cell. I don't really care what companies call it. I just want to tell you how it feels. The cushioning. Now, it is important that I tell you, like, they've sent me this shoe. I've got no biases. I don't have a dog in this fight. I just want to tell you what this shoe is. It just simply gets it done. If you're going to want something propulsive, especially if you're doing speed reps, intervals, I would recommend a whole different shoe. I'll just be honest with you. This is not the shoe if you're a whizzy fast runner to start doing your fast reps in. But this has served me perfectly for just getting the run done. You put this shoe on, the easy miles, the long runs, even recovery runs just felt perfect. It just works. The fit of the shoe. The fit of the shoe is a Goldilocks kind of situation. It's padded enough to be a daily trainer, but it's slick enough for that performance. So I can really understand how this Justin Montague guy who run 854 miles from the top of the UK all the way down to Land's End, Cornwall, the very bottom, in like 17 days, I can see how he did that. There is adequate comfort, there is adequate cushioning for that sort of duration. By the way, he did all of that in just one pair of these. You can see that this is definitely a shoe you have to consider. I definitely enjoyed it as a daily trainer. I'm not gonna lie to you that it's gonna perform beyond all of that because I've got an arsenal of weapons back here that I rely upon when it comes race day. But all of my training miles, I promise you, man, like if I had to do all of my long runs, the rest of the training I've got left for this marathon in this shoe, I'd more than be happy. Let me quickly talk to you about the importance of these new shoe companies entering the market. Companies like Mount to Coast. If you're old enough to remember, you see, Wednesday the 3rd of July, right now when I've published this video, I've actually turned 40 years old. I feel like a dinosaur at this point. But I'm old enough to remember the days when you used to take pictures using film. Your dad would take pictures, take the film out, take it to town, have it developed. And then digital photography happened, changed everything. Or Blockbuster. Drive out, go borrow a tape, watch a film, rewind it, return it. Netflix happened. New innovation, new companies will always change the landscape of stuff. Like this, Mount to Coast, and there are plenty new ones coming out. I can't list all of them. All I need you to know is this, for their first shoe for a new company, is way beyond everyone's expectation. In my video 0, I did say that this shoe is wasted on me. Mount to Coast got hold of my video and they said, Aubrey, we've heard you. Have this one. Sorry. There you go. This is the S1. The one we're talking about is the R1. Now this is the more daily trainery ones, more simplistic lacing system. So I'm excited. I'm gonna try and run in this one. I'll let you know what that's like. But I did talk about video 0. You can click over there, let me move, over there and watch video 0 with my man Shopper Dinky Donk. This is the format. I will do a video 0 as soon as I receive a running shoe and then tell you all about it on a later video such as this one.